What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Why are you always yelling? Because it's funner that way. Check it out, guys. I got a hot link to this right here. Bodybuildinglawsuit.com. Essentially, calling for people to come forth with their stories about bodybuilding appears to be targeting the NPC. Just my guess. And the legal counsel seems to be someone I've seen somewhere before from a competing bodybuilding organization. I'm going to read what this is about. Maybe this is for you to join. Maybe it's for you to laugh at. Then I'm going to give you my opinion on the matter, if that's okay. All the training, dieting, self-denial, and discipline, but hashtag you never had a chance. Physical fitness is the aspiration of all people. It should be a mirror of health and happiness and an outward symbol of inner discipline. For too long, however, there has been a cloud of oppression, lewdness, darkness, and mafia-style control over the entire fitness industry. Competitive athletes, their trainers, sponsors, vendors, promoters, and fans have all had to live with this because it is, quote, the way it is, unquote. Equality, opportunity, and transparency have been nowhere to be found. Stories of rigged contests, sexual impropriety, brutal enforcement by those in control of the industry, lawlessness, and even threats against the very lives of those who might dare to speak the truth to power abound. No opportunity was given to athletes, sponsors, and fans to openly build a community that supports growth and development. All windows to the truth about the industry were shrouded in secrecy and fear, instead of being a community where athletes from around the world are welcomed with open arms and encouraged to compete in any competitive division and or class that aligns with their goals. This industry has been a closed subculture, mocked and ridiculed by the mainstream for its closed, backward, and in some cases cruel and criminal ways. Wow, this is written like a novel. This is beautiful. It is time for this madness and these madmen who have perpetrated it to stop. We, the attorneys involved in exploring this suit against the powers who have ruled amateur, professional bodybuilding, and fitness for over 50 years, intend to stop it. We firmly believe that no one should be forced to suffer the indignities, financial losses, and hardships that might have come for the actions of our potential defendants. Not without financial assistance from the party at fault. Here comes the lawsuit, guys. You ready? We will work diligently with each of our clients to help them pursue compensation to cover losses associated with their connection to the wrongs committed by our potential defendants. Please visit us, tell your story lab, take a look at the facts, blah, 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 explore your wrongs committed, and discuss potential claims. As someone with no skin in the game who doesn't promote an NPC show and who's actually been done wrong by NPC and told straight up by an NPC promoter that unless I'm on his team, that I will never win a show in his state. And that was actually Rope Man in the state of Georgia. Hi, Rope Man. If you're watching this, I still don't like you. But however, I don't care. I'm out of it. I switched organizations. I was happy competing in NABA while I did. And you know what it is? It is what it is. And I still believe that the NPC, by and large, is better than it is bad. As with any large organization or company, like let's say you have Coca-Cola, you have different bottlers in different areas, different territories. You have your Northeast bottler, you have your Southern bottler, you have your Midwest bottler. There might be one guy running his territory extremely fantastic, amazing, ethically and everything. And then his counterpart in the other area might be doing it exactly the opposite. I believe that Jim Mannion essentially has the best intentions for his organization. I do believe that there are some rogue, really foul promoters. But again, there's a lot of great promoters. Again, I point to North Carolina as a great state to compete in. I do believe that the people out there are doing a fantastic job, and there are great promoters in that state, as well as some of the shows in South Carolina. You can't really say anything bad about what Valentino and his people over there, like Kevin DeHaven and all those guys, are doing. And Mannion has, a lot of good people, like Jesse Dale in Indiana, a great promoter who doesn't play those games. However, there are some people who are corrupted by greed and things like that. And so the NPC has been given a bad name by those guys. And again, Mannion's trusting these territories to individual promoters and, what do they call them? State representatives or head state officials, whatever it's called. So at the end of the day, I don't blame Jim Mannion nor the powers that be or, any of those guys for what's happening. Basically, you have a couple guys who need to be fired or removed from their positions of power. But again, it's hard to prove. What really gets me about this suit, I kind of like to see it because it shows that, you have a voice. But on the other hand, here's my fear. It's a subjective sport. If this were the case, diving, figure skating, and other sports would be an issue. Everybody who gets second place thinks they should have got first. I was watching Generation Iron. My good friends at Generation Iron gave me a copy. I was able to watch it again. And there was, it was Dennis James explaining to Dennis Wolf's family how judging works. Might want this guy bigger, might want smaller, might want this, might want that, might want apples, might want oranges. It's a subjective sport. Whereas just like in figure skating, I might want to see a triple lux, and this other guy might want to see a triple toe loop or whatever they're called. And then you have diving. There was too big of a splash. His knees were bent just a little bit. He wasn't perfectly straight. There's so many different variables, and it's a subjective sport. So the main thing I see with this lawsuit is that there are issues with how far you can take it in determining if someone was screwed in a subjective sport. Where it gets fishy is if there was sexual misconduct and or paying, which are against the law. And that would be something they could hang them on. And I will tell you this, it happens. It happens. For example, me joining someone's team, that's a cash grab. Okay, it is what it is. From what I hear with John Lindsay on the West Coast, I don't know. Look, I'm speaking hearsay. If John wants to call me and complain, that's fine. I hear he's done it, but I don't know. He's one of the guys that always gets brought up. In fact, Lee Thompson said it publicly on his Inspire launch videos on Facebook. Again, I have no personal issue with him. The only person I know personally is shady is Ropeman. Ropeman, and if you're in Georgia, do not compete in Ropeman shows. Don't do it. It's a waste of your time. Unless you want to play his game, pay for play. I mean, that's your call if you want to stoop to that level. But I wouldn't get anywhere near Ropeman or his people. He's dirty. He is. And he's known for being dirty. But other than that, Lindsay, it's all hearsay. Every other experience I've had with the NPC is positive. And I think that if you're in a state like North Carolina or Indiana even, you're in a great state for competitive bodybuilding. I believe Lindsay also has a show up in Illinois. And I'm not saying boycott Lindsay's shows unless you know of something firsthand. I will say don't do Ropeman shows because I've seen it firsthand. However, at the end of the day, bodybuilding is a subjective sport. This is why I think it's kind of a cool thing that you got the GBO. I'm going to do a video on them shortly because I think that they might bring an alternative thing. I'm going to link GBO down below. It's a global bodybuilding organization. I've talked to them on the phone. They seem like really good dudes. Just check out their website. It's going to be the first link down below. Actually, the second link. The first link will be the article. Second link will be GBO. And you know what? Inspire, I've come out and said the way they came out of the gate was a bit shady with the Kai Green thing and everything. You know what, though? Competition makes people perform better. And at the end of the day, we have had a monopoly on professional, non-drug tested bodybuilding. So what this gives us, it gives people an option. And while I'm not going to throw my hat in the Inspire ring, and I haven't decided what I'm doing with GBO yet, but all I know is that I talked to the guy who runs it, and I like him a lot so far. And we're actually going to be sponsoring one of their shows because it's local, and I like competition, man. For goodness sakes, in the natural bodybuilding world, I'm promoting a WPA and an ANBF show. WPA show is June 25th, Mason, Ohio. I have Ronnie Coleman and IFBB Pro as the guest, as one of the guests, the special guests. Then I have Doug Miller there, an IFPA Pro. I like everything, but then in November, the week before Thanksgiving, I'm also promoting an ANBF show. I'm the vice president of the ANBF, but I believe you need competition. There are those are the two that I feel are the best natural organizations, WPA and ANBF. However, in enhanced or non-drug tested bodybuilding, I'm going to say enhanced just for simple stating it, we need competition. Whether this lawsuit will fly, I don't know. Where I want to thank, even though I've come out kind of speaking, talking trash about how he he promotes things and how he does things, Lee Thompson, is I think that he has brought to light the fact that this is a monopoly and it might not be the best thing. I think having competition will actually make the NPC better and get them more competitors because they'll be at the top of their game and they'll have better marketing and better presentation of what they do. Right now, when there's no competition, what's the motivation to get better? There is none. So what I'm going to leave with saying is that bodybuildinglawsuit.com, hashtag you never had a chance. If you've been wronged by the NPC or whoever, I don't even know if it doesn't state directly the NPC, but you kind of read between the lines. I guess email them. I'm not in any means in favor of frivolous lawsuits, but I don't even know the legality if you can sue for something like this. But if you have been wrong, if you have had any wrongdoing, sexual misconduct, pay for play, whatever, you know, let this guy know. And I don't know. I mean, I don't even know if I want to let this guy go. I'm so neutral on this, but I do think it's bringing to light something that's two things. One is, how can you sue in a subjective sport? And two is, things have been messed up in bodybuilding long enough. And I think things like this will help Mannion pick out who the good and bad guys are based on these testimonials or whatever the court gets. So Mannion can fire people like Ropeman or whoever else is bad, right? So there we go, guys. Bodybuildinglawsuit.com. I appreciate you guys watching. We're going to have an op-ed piece in the Tiger Fitness content site. That link will be the third link down below. So go ahead, just every link in that description box, click on it, subscribe to this channel, share this channel with your friends. And the main reason why you want to share this channel with your friends, I'm going to be real, is how good I look in this V-neck that MHP gave me. I mean, also the content coming with Big Victor Martinez, that's coming in about 3 weeks, guys. Some epic stuff. Anyway, guys, Akeem Williams with Muscle Meds, that'll be on this channel next week as well. So subscribe now so you don't miss it. Guys, check out all the sites. I'm Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com, because lawsuits about stuff you don't even know how it's supposed to be judged in the first place. Fuck it, I'm signing up. That's not a game.